Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Dhamma of Peace series number 54. The path of purification, Visuddhimagga. Matters or contents related to the 7 stages of purification first appeared in Ratta Vinita Sutta. In English, Relay of Chariots. That's the first time it appears at the time of Buddha. It is the discussion between Venerable Sariputta and Venerable Punya Vantani Buddha. So, 2 Arahants conversation. In that conversation, these 7 stages of the path of purification appears. In Theravada Buddhism, the Visuddhimagga, in English, the path of purification, written by Buddhaghosa, is the well-rounded presentation of the Satipatthana. The following is a brief statement of the book, The Path of Purification, which is over 800 pages long. So, if one is interested in this subject in details, get a book and go through it slowly, word by word, piece by piece, line by line. You will find it's very interesting. Okay, we are talking about the 7 stages of the path of purification. What are they? They are 1, purification of conduct, Sila Visuddhi. 2, purification of mind, Citta Visuddhi. 3, purification of view, Ditti Visuddhi. 4, purification by overcoming doubt, Kankha Vitarana Visuddhi. 5, purification by knowledge and vision of what is path and not path, Magga Jnana Dasana Visuddhi. 6, purification by knowledge and vision of the cause of practice, Patipada Jnana Dasana Visuddhi. 7, purification by knowledge and vision, Jnana Dasana Visuddhi. The first 6 stages belong to the mundane world, which means the world of mind and matter. And the culmination point in the seventh stage belongs to ultra-mundane world, Lokuttara. And in these seven, each stage prepares for the next. So those are the seven stages of the path of purification. So we'll go through a little brief statement of each stage. The first one is purification of conduct. Purity of conduct is the essential starting point of the journey towards the realization of Nibbana. It is to abstain from unwholesome speech, deed, and wrong livelihood. Lay Theravada Buddhists strictly observe 5, 8, or 10 precepts to avoid unskilled actions, reduce remorse, and cultivate a calm mind, because that calm mind is necessary for the next stage. In monasteries, Buddhist novices and nuns observe the 10 precepts, while male monks observe 227 rules and discipline, and female monks 311. In Burma, we don't have the lineage of the female monks anymore. So that's a brief what it means by the purification of conduct. Number 2, purification of mind. Cleansing the mind from harmful, toxic, destructive elements of mental defilements, greed, hatred, and delusion, to achieve clarity, peace, and spiritual growth. So purification of mind is about cleansing the mind from harmful, toxic, destructive elements of mental defilements, which are greed, hatred, and delusion. For what reason? To achieve clarity, peace, and spiritual growth. It can be attained through tranquility, concentration, which is samatha, or insight meditation, vipassana. To be successful, one must be able to at least temporarily suppress the 5 mental hindrances. You know what they are? They are sense desire, ill will, sloth and torpor, restlessness and remorse, and skeptical doubt. So when you have the purified mind, there's no more 5 hindrances in your mind. Some people for good, some people on a temporarily when they are practicing. Number 3 is purification of view. When you have the purification of mind, that means you have concentration, mental concentration. Because of the mental concentration, 5 hindrances are at bay or far away. So with concentration at hand, one must begin insight meditation. To have the right view, you must practice insight meditation. Now you begin. It involves discerning mental and physical phenomena and breaking the illusion of individuality, personality, self or soul, which is called Sakkaya Ditthi. In fact, it is the ever-changing, interdependent mental and physical complex of mind and body that consists of the 5 aggregates of clinging. There are 3 ways self-identification can occur. The first one is, let's call it, this is mine, quote unquote, this is mine. That means it is a craving or dana. This is mine is due to the craving. The second one is, this I am, quote unquote, and that is due to conceit, mana. And the last one is, this is me. That is due to wrong view, ditthi. Wrong view, ditthi. And we are trying to purify that view. We are trying to purify that wrong view. This is me, a self, a soul, individual, a person, or Sakkaya Ditthi. One have to discern the mental and physical phenomenon. In other words, what is I or me or mine is simply a 2 phenomena. One is physical and one is mental. And if you discern it, and also you have to erase or eradicate the illusion of individual, a person, a self, or a soul. That is what it means by purification of view. The fourth one is purification by overcoming doubt. So, what kind of doubt one overcome? It is about overcoming doubt of self-existence. Self exists. We have that doubt, and you have to overcome that doubt. And seeing the fusion of cause and effect in the phenomena of mind and matter. To overcome the doubt, you have to see this mental and physical process or phenomenon of mind and matter is simply operating under the law of cause and effect. And if you can clearly identify that, see that, sense that, feel that, then you overcome the doubt. This existence or self or soul is a wrong view. That doubt is overcome. It is achieved by realizing the 5 factors from Paticcasamuppada. We just say that you have to overcome the doubt, but it is a part of the Paticcasamuppada. Or you can say the whole Paticcasamuppada, dependent origination. One have to not just simply understand by reading, you have to realize it. You have to directly experience it. And what are the key 5 factors? One is avijja, ignorance. Second one is craving, tatna. Third one is clinging, upadana. The fourth one is karma, mental formation or volitional activities. And because of that, there's a rebirth happen again. And this cycle go round and round and round and round. And because of these 5 factors or 5 causes, our current existence, our current life occurs or exists. Also, it further involves removing all uncertainties to one existed in the past. Not only it explain to you about the present life is an illusion, it also explains about the past lives, how it is occurring, and also the future lives by discerning the conditioned nature of mind and matter. If you discern the mind and matters are always arising due to conditions, then it discerns that past, present, and future. So overcoming doubt about existence of self or soul in your past lives, how it happened, present life, why it come to be, and future life, how it can be stopped. That is the purification by overcoming doubt. Number 5, purification by knowledge and vision of what is path and not path. One need to know simply what is the right path and what is not constituted in the right path. Path and not path. After the 4th stage of path of purification, the 4th stage is the overcoming doubt. One embarks on the 5th stage by practicing the Vipassana meditation. And number 4 is basically discerning the mind and matter. Here is you accurately practicing Vipassana meditation. Then, only then, one will experience the knowledge of comprehension, samasana jnana, the insight which are the insight into the 3 marks of existence of mind and matter. Mind and matters are impermanent, suffering, and non-self. In a detail of mind and matter is the 5 aggregates. In other words, one need to know that the 5 aggregates are simply under the influence of impermanent, suffering, and non-self. And these are reflective in 11 ways. Okay. What we just said, that the 5 aggregates are impermanent, suffering, and non-self. And one needs reflects in 11 ways, okay, which are past, present, and future, internal or external. Internal means oneself, external means all other beings outside. So altogether 5. gross or subtle. Anything in a gross form is under the same law. Subtle form, or in a form that you cannot see, sense, feel, they are also under this three laws, the three marks of existence. Inferior or superior, whether it's an inferior being or superior beings, they are still subject to the same law. Far or near, anything that is close to you, anything that is far away, in a distant galaxy, the same law applies. One need to reflect. This one is you cannot go and experience these things. Based on your personal experience, you reflect in 11 ways so that it really sinks into you. All that in the universe are under the influence of the three marks of existence. And when you do that, only then one will experience the tender stage of the rising and passing away of mind and matter. If you are able to do that, you can say you have reached the tender stage. Not the middle, not the end, not the middle, just tender, the beginning stage of the rising and passing away of mind and matter. In Pali, what is called Udiyapaya Jnana. Udiyapaya Jnana. So you have embarked upon to the path. And if you are not on that path described, then you are not on the path, or you can say not path. When we go to the sixth, you will understand this even more clearer. The sixth stage is the purification by knowledge and vision of the course of practice. In the sixth stage of purification, knowledge of arising and passing away, Udiyapaya Jnana, become matures. On the fifth, it is just a tender stage, the beginning. At the sixth stage, it matures. Because of that maturity, the insight becomes clear and firm. In other words, you can see the beginning of an object with clarity, the mid and the end, like frame by frame by frame. That's what it means by insight becomes clear and firm. Along with it, one will experience some of the following once you get the mature part of Udiyapaya Jnana. One will see, one will experience brilliant lights, just lights, but it feels very good. Not burning light, not blinding light, but it's brilliant and it is very pleasant. Brilliant light. In Pali, it's called obhasa. And also, one will go through and experience rupture, piti. There are 5 kinds of rupture, if you remember. And the next one is tranquility, passaddhi. Tranquility, one will experience. Then happiness, or some translators says bliss, happiness or bliss, sukha, assurance, upatana, equanimity, upekha, and subtle attachment. It's very subtle. It's even difficult to detect. Nikkanti. Those are the 10 things that one will experience. Not all. Some people experience a few of them, some different, based on your parami of the past. And these are the obstacle to progress, because they are so good, one has never experienced before. So what happened was, you become attached to it. Or some people even think, oh, I have realized Nibbana. This must be Nibbana. If you don't have a proper guide, and if you're on your own, if you see that, some people begin to think, this is it. I have attained the supreme peace. And in fact, they are the obstacle to the progress in Dhamma. Obstacle to progress in Dhamma. And one must keep practicing that Vipassana, insight meditation, keep on practicing to overcome all of the 10 stages, all the stages that one experiences. And some people think it is the final goal, but in fact, they are the obstacles to your growth. That is what it means by not path. People think that this is the path, we have reached it, we have reached the goal, but actually they are what we call not path, or the obstacle for the spiritual progress. So one has to keep on practicing Vipassana, and if you keep practicing Vipassana, you will experience altogether 9 types of insight knowledge, including this arising and passing away, of course. So, as we say 9 types, I will enumerate it. One is the knowledge of arising and passing away, Uddiyabhya Jnana. Second is knowledge of the solution, Vingha Jnana. 3. Knowledge of fear or terror, Bhaya Jnana. 4 is knowledge of danger, Adinava Jnana. 5. Knowledge of disenchantment, Nibbida Jnana. 6. Knowledge of desire for deliverance, Mansitu Kamyana Jnana. 7. Knowledge of reflective contemplation, Patisankha Jnana. 8 is knowledge of equanimity, about formation, Sankharupekha Jnana. 9 is knowledge of conformity or adaptation, Anuloma Jnana. This Anuloma Jnana purpose is to conform the previous 8 insights to the 37 requisites of enlightenment. I won't explain about the 37 requisites of enlightenment here. So, once one have gone through all these things, then you have the purification of knowledge and vision of the course of practice. In other words, what you are practicing is right and correct. This is it. This is the only way. This is the one. That kind of belief is strong and firm. And the seventh stage is purity by knowledge and vision. Purification of knowledge and vision is the seventh and final stage of the path of purification. And if you get there, actually you are changing from the ordinary worldling to the noble lineage. All of us are in the mundane world of mind and matter, and that is called Puthujjana. But when you cross over the threshold, one becomes Ariya, another lineage, Ariya, noble person. That changing, once you change to a noble person, you are not in the domain of mind and matter anymore. Your mind is. Of course, the body exists. And this lineage consists of 4 levels. These 4 levels are stream winner, once returner, non-returner, and arahant. Stream winner is the first path and fruition. There's a path, Megha, Jnana, and fruition is bliss or phala. The first time one got onto that is called the first stream winner or Sotapanna. And once you go to the second part, a second level of path and fruition, one's called once returner, Sakadagami. At that stage, your attachments become very subtle. All the gross ones are gone. It reduced it. And the third path and fruition is Anagami, non-returner, where all these sense desires, attachment to sense desires are completely eradicated. And the fourth path and fruition, Arahant, is where all 10 kilesas are completely uprooted. Those are the 4 levels. Each level eliminates a certain degree or certain items of kilesa. Only when one becomes Arahant, all 10 kilesas are eradicated for good. So those are the 7 stages of purification. Each stage is preparing for the next stage. The first 6 stages belongs to the mundane world, the world of mind and matter, domain of mind and matter. The 7th stage belongs to the ultra-mundane, Lokottara, where one escapes from the suffering of mind and matter. More precise, mind and mind matter. As long as one is alive, this karmic body still exists. Only once passed away as an arahant, that is completely gone. So these are the 7 stages of the path of purification, Visuddhimagga. And here I like to put a note. One should notice that practicing the full foundation of mindfulness, Satipatthana, Vipassana, if one practices it, one will experience all these 7 stages of the path of purification. In the book is one stage after the other. But in Satipatthana Vipassana, you practice according to the Buddha has instructed with precision, and you will find that all 7 stages of the path of purifications are included in that practice. So may all of you be able to practice Satipatthana Vipassana meditation and be able to purify all the 7 stages of uncertainties and attain Nibbana as soon as possible. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much.